Generation after generation bore the marks of severe deformities, limited intellect, and isolated lives. These were America's most degenerate families, ravaged by incest and cruel illnesses passed down through closed bloodlines. For decades, this dark reality lay hidden deep within rural America. In the remote stretches of the Appalachian Mountains, particularly in far western Virginia, a community lived almost entirely forgotten by the outside world. By 1937, the Great Depression still gripped the nation, and mountainous regions like this remained cut off not just geographically, but culturally and socially. The Callaway family had settled here around 1850, when Jeremiah Callaway, a Pennsylvania farmer, purchased cheap, unexplored land. Over the years, the family grew in number, yet their contact with the outside world dwindled. Poor roads and a deep-seated suspicion of strangers turned the Callaways into a nearly self-sufficient clan. Their first meaningful encounter with outsiders came in 1937, when a rural doctor named Dr. Elliot Montgomery, who provided basic care to isolated communities, stumbled upon a disturbing scene. "I'll never forget what I saw that day," Dr. Montgomery later wrote in his medical diary, which was eventually donated to the University of Richmond. Children with obvious malformations, adults sharing eerily similar facial traits, and an alarming number showing signs of cognitive decline. His records, rediscovered in 1973, showed that out of roughly 42 Callaway family members, at least 23 displayed clear genetic disorders. Documented conditions included extra fingers, polydactyly, abnormal skull development, severe strabismus, and varying levels of intellectual disability. But the doctor noticed something even more troubling: the family tree. Through conversations with the more articulate members, he reconstructed a lineage where marriages between first cousins were common and, in some cases, unions between uncles and nieces, or half-siblings. This wasn't just geographic isolation. It was a bloodline turned inward for generations, amplifying harmful recessive genes. One of the most haunting images Dr. Montgomery described was of 3 Callaway children, ages 6 to 12, whose faces looked strikingly alike: prominent foreheads, closely set eyes, underdeveloped jaws, and the same vacant stare. In his notes, he wrote, "It was as if the same face had been printed 3 times, each with slight variations of the same underlying condition." The family patriarch at the time, 67-year-old Obadiah Callaway, who, surprisingly, showed no obvious physical deformities, told the doctor, "We take care of our own. Outsiders don't understand our ways. Here, we keep our blood pure." CTA 1. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. What you're about to learn goes beyond the imaginable family secrets society tried to bury for decades. Don't miss a single detail of these forbidden stories that will reshape your understanding of human nature. 15 years after Dr. Montgomery's first encounter, in 1952, another medical professional turned his attention to the Callaways. Dr. Harold Winters, a geneticist from the University of Virginia, had discovered Montgomery's diaries and decided to investigate this unique case of genetic isolation. Winters put together a small team: an anthropologist, a nurse, and a photographer. With reluctant permission from Josiah Callaway, who'd taken over as family leader after Obadiah's death, the team spent 2 weeks documenting the community. The resulting report, Genetic Isolation in the Appalachians, a case study, became an important, though restricted, academic document due to its sensitive content. Dr. Winters found that the 3rd and 4th generations of Callaways showed alarming rates of congenital issues. Of the 16 children born between 1940 and 1952, 9 had severe cognitive deficits, 7 had visible deformities, and 5 didn't survive early childhood. "We are witnessing the devastating impact of homozygosity for harmful recessive genes," Winters wrote. "When close relatives reproduce, the chance that both carry the same damaging gene rises dramatically. The result is a concentration of genetic traits that would otherwise remain rare." One of the most documented cases was Eliza Callaway, a 16-year-old born with syndactyly fused fingers on both hands, giving them a mitten-like appearance. She also had a severely curved spine and limited speech. Eliza's family history was especially disturbing. Her father, Malachi, was also her maternal uncle. This close union led to an extreme concentration of problematic genes. Dr. Winters noted, Rebecca, Eliza's mother, confessed that her other 3 children, all born with worse deformities, didn't survive infancy. She called it God's will, but the true cause was clearly genetic. The family had developed its own explanations for the conditions affecting its members, not inbreeding, but local superstitions and religious interpretations. Jebediah Callaway, one of the elders, explained to the team's anthropologist, if a pregnant woman is scared by a wild animal, the child can be born marked. That's how it's always been. This denial of the real cause allowed intermarriage to continue, perpetuating the cycle of genetic decline. If you're still watching, you understand why these hidden histories matter. Comment now. Blood tells stories words can't express. Be part of this journey into truth society wanted forgotten. By 1967, as America underwent social transformation, life for the Callaways remained frozen in time. That year, a young, idealistic social worker named Martha Jenkins was assigned to evaluate isolated Appalachian families as part of a federal anti-poverty program. Jenkins carefully recorded her observations in official reports and a personal diary, offering a rare window into daily life for this consanguineous family. "The first thing that struck me was the silence," she wrote. "For a place with so many children, there was a noticeable lack of laughter or play. Many just sat still, staring blankly or repeating simple hand movements." She documented a daily routine built around survival: gardening, tending animals, gathering wood. Tasks were assigned based on each person's limited abilities. Ezekiel Callaway, a 40-year-old with severe cognitive impairment, spent his days carrying water from the stream. "It's the only job he can manage," Jenkins wrote. They use simple sounds and gestures to communicate with him. Social life was ruled by a rigid family hierarchy. The patriarch, 72-year-old Josiah Callaway, made all major decisions, including marriage arrangements, often between cousins or uncles and nieces. Jenkins witnessed 12-year-old Abigail being promised to her 14-year-old cousin, Isaiah. She also described Ruth Callaway, 32, mother of 5 children by her half-brother Jeremiah. Ruth had an asymmetrical face, one eye lower than the other, and involuntary spasms. 3 of her children showed variations of the same condition. "What's chilling is that to them, this is normal," Jenkins wrote. "When I gently brought it up, Ruth simply said, 'We are all the Lord's children, made in His image.'" Jenkins also noted a room of silence, a separate space where the most severely disabled family members were cared for by older women. "The sight of that room will stay with me forever," she wrote. 6 people, ages 9 to 47, all with severe deformities, lying on straw mattresses. The smell was overwhelming. The most haunting part was the silence. Only one made a sound as I entered. Jenkins recommended immediate intervention, but legal hurdles and family resistance delayed action for years. If you've made it this far, you're clearly engaged with this story. Leave a comment saying, "I watched here," so I can recognize you and know who truly values these deep stories. Don't forget to subscribe now for more impactful content like this, real accounts that uncover dark secrets and tragic family destinies shaped by generations of consanguinity. Hit like and share this video with someone who'd be captivated by these unsettling truths about the human condition.